I want to do a quick cover on the song Abraham by Josh Baldwin. In life, sometimes we face a lot of challenges, a lot of things, a lot of curveballs. But we serve a God who is always there. A God full of hope, full of love, full of peace. And sometimes we just have to take ourselves to a whole different level and just lay ourselves on the altar of sacrifice. And I can't imagine being a dad of 3 and grandfather now of 3. I can't imagine what must have been going through his head when he headed up to the mountain to sacrifice his son. And it's humbling to know that God, he just wants you. He wants all of you. He wants all of me. And so when we sacrifice ourselves and give ourselves completely to him and just let him have his will and his way in our lives, it's amazing what he does in the sacrifice. There is a mountain in between what you've said, what I see, standing before this offering. My failing heart will fight to believe on this altar. You have called me from my home. The weight that I carry is not my own. Spirit, move this heart of stone. And how can I walk in my new name? Father of many, the promise you gave on this altar, on this road. I lay down my flesh and bones. Here on this mountain I have climbed, wrestling doubts that flood my mind. Ashes and dust are all that remain. The hope for the world still come from my veins. It's on this altar and on this road. You have called me from my home. The weight that I carry is not my own. Spirit, move this heart of stone. Well, how can I walk in my new name? Father of many, the promise you gave on this altar, on this road. I lay down my flesh and bones on this altar, on this road. You have called me from my home. You know, we forget that God called Abraham completely away from home. He called him into a complete strange place so that he might be used. And sometimes when God chooses to use us, It might put us in some really awkward positions sometimes, and we kind of might stop and think, well, what are they going to think of me if I say that? Or what are they going to think of me if I do that or reach out like that? And the thing is like when God speaks to us to reach, when God speaks to us to move, all you got to do is move. It ain't always comfortable. Things falling down. And that's kind of like life. Things will just kind of fall down around you. But that's when the peace of God and the presence of the Holy Spirit just moves in anyway. And you just trust and you just move. And when He says go, you go. And when He says no, it's no. And that's okay. Because God knows all about it. He knows the whole plan. And so let Him move in your life and let Him be who you need to be, but let Him use you to be who somebody else needs. And be a witness, be a light, be the person that somebody else needs to stand up and do what's right. And just lay yourself down on the altar of sacrifice. 'Cause on this altar and on this road, you have called me from my home. Love you guys. Y'all have a great Thursday night.